My name is Brie Howard. I'm a senior, and I have a story on healing. I grew up with my grandmother, called her Mama, and my mom was a nurse and my dad worked nights, so a lot of times I would go over to her house and spend the day with her, and we would cook and play pretend and have tea parties, and we were really close. And then as I grew up, we were so close, and she would buy me records, and we would talk on the phone for stupid amounts of time. And then one summer after my sophomore year, she was diagnosed with cancer, and within the month she had died. So it was very fast, and I felt like I didn't have time to really react, but I really treasured the moments that I was with her. And I remember the night that I got the news, I was with my dad's mother, and we were at a Springfield Cardinals game, and we got a call from my dad on our way home saying that Mama didn't have much time left, and if I could stay the night at the Howard's house. So she, of course, said yes, and I was in my room, and I was packing up a bag for the night, and I heard my grandma in the kitchen say on the phone, "What? That's so soon?" And I knew. Like, I really knew that she was gone. And as soon as my dad got on the phone with me, I just said, I know. And he goes, okay, I'll see you later. So Mama had died, and she had died knowing that she was going to heaven. And that is so comforting to me because she loved people. And she would stop and talk to anyone and everyone at Walmart and at Goodwill, and she loved talking to people. Every time we'd go anywhere, she'd have to stop and tell somebody about God because she just loved Jesus, and she wanted everybody to love Jesus. So I find comfort in knowing where she is, but I also find comfort in music. Because growing up, every time that my sister and I would sing a song, she would cry or say, "You're going to sing this at my funeral." But of course, we never thought she was going to die. And so we would say, "Yeah, okay, we'll sing that at your funeral." And she would say that about like Adele songs and Carrie Underwood, which we weren't going to sing at her funeral. But we did sing "I Will Rise." And the day of the funeral was so weird because walking in, it was like she had set us up our whole lives for this one moment that we were going to sing in her funeral. And then the day came, and I couldn't figure out what to do next. Like, what was my next goal? Because I had the goal that someday I would sing in her funeral, but it was here. I was about to accomplish it. So it was hard. And I sang Amazing Grace, and I think she'd be very proud of me. And I stumbled, and I got choked up. But I know that she was there. I know she was there, and I know she was holding my hand. And I find comfort in music, and when I sing, I think of her. And when I hear certain songs like "Fly" by Susan LeBar, I think of her. And she has taught me to love others and to never stop telling your story, and don't ever stop sharing your love for God and for other people, because it's so important. And I find comfort in humor because she loved to laugh, and she was always laughing and always making jokes about something. And she had a stroke earlier on in her life, and so one of her hands didn't work, and so she'd always cook with one hand, and she'd always make jokes about not being able to use her hand. And after my grandmother died, I worked through humor, and so I would ask my parents' siblings, my mom's siblings, some funny stories about Mama. And one time she got pulled over on her way to Goodwill, and the officer goes, "Ma'am, why is it that you were speeding today?" And she goes, "There's a sale, and you're keeping me from it." But she's a funny lady, and it's nice to know that she's where she needs to be, and I'm where I need to be, and I'm different, and I'm better because of her. And I thank God every day for those moments that we shared. Grief is really hard. Losing someone is really hard because you can't just call them up on the phone. And I have spent way too long listening to her voicemails over and over because I love the sound of her voice. And you will miss that. When you lose someone, you miss things. You miss the small things. I miss the way she cooked with one hand. I miss the way she laughed. I miss the way she never ate her own cooking, which was really scary. But you find this comfort in those things as well. And the parts of you that has been carved out by sorrow will be filled with joy. And I find joy in Mama. And a quote that she always said, which is kind of what I want to end this on, is a stranger is just a friend that you haven't met yet, which is something that I hope to live by every single day. And that's my story.